양들 먼저 지투 송 가보중 되네 상마 다시 랑이 보중이 저래 섬기도스.
So we are coming together once again. I hope you had a pleasurable
되네
lunch.
디링 아미타바기 디신을 받아봤음 주래 되네 세봤음 줄라 되네 몽골리 되네 망고 비짓 랩도 되라 플로레라 되네 저랑서 상마 디링 공다 프랑스 기슈스 두팔라 먼저 디 냠린지 제고도 되네 슈기도 슈스 두팔 프랑스 상마님 보가나 작라티 live now.
Yes, young karmatic. So as people are slowly joining us, I would like to mention that today is the last day of the lunar month, the 13th of the lunar month, which is a day in terms of calendar, religious calendar, which is often dedicated to the Buddha Amitabha. And because it's a special day, it's like a little bit like the full moon, it's the new moon. And in the Himalayan tradition, as well as in many other traditions, midsummer tendarang lebgidu dupena. So today is new moon, and in many traditions, the new moon is a sort of holy day. It's a special day. And today we have a group of visitors from the Himalayas at the Drubpon in our center. And they live in France, but they are from Mongolia. And because it's new moon, they thought it would be a good idea to come and join our practice, our evening practice in particular. And the new moon is a perfect moment for connecting with Amitabha. So we'll have a special important practice of Amitabha at 6 o'clock French time, which is 5 o'clock UK time. And it will be streamed live on our Facebook page. So if you want to do the practice that we are studying today, you can join us. Just go on the Drubpon Facebook page. And for this new moon day, we will do the Amitabha, exactly this practice at 6 o'clock French time.
Tene charanzula picha yuna, tene charanzul kangmananga. Ya wojine de senda wono kondene tene pöda par chimi par tene chuteni rina ya woje dene nyambo nyamlenje na rinke chamangbo shi chute nyamlenje jena pe ya hoyores.
And it's very simple. It's open to all. It's free. You can stay in your home in a comfortable place. If you have the text, you put the text in front of yourself and you sit correctly. If you have some vows and a zen or some shawl or something that has been blessed or that is associated with your vows, it's the time to wear it. And then also to prepare the environment before it starts. You can light a candle, you can light an incense stick and get yourself ready, and then you do the practice and we will be all together in the same energy, in the same ritual. And you will be comfortably at home at the same time.
Legendary Rahanganzo Nambagitawa, so the legendary Bartawa, Sedi, and so Samnotangoda. Samnotandi, Chivangomalamanzula, Chivangomala Kiwachigiar, the Samnota. Tenesandegi Nama Kanji Dada Dadagi Lelata, Statagi Lulata, Nama. Ngama sonam gitsok sa dibada bangki wada tubi na tandang anzo tene milur machito sanje ge chodang ja nyamlen ja yeba Sama Ngawang Katinaba. Ngawala Leia, which is Jetua, Somne, Tenekabo, Namakanji Tata Lelata. Lulata, Namakanji Tata Lulatas. Ta Nanda Namba Sanji Lula, Andangansuki Leha Jedi Sama, Sedi Leha Mariba, Chewa Chima, Milur Muchitavia, Tene Turikia, Sanjego Pontabia, didn't la Chigero. Tene Chima Kandu, Tata Lelatas. Chewa Chima, Kandichi Yungudu, Tandangansu Leha Chetan de Lago, Sundi, Tanda Leha Jedi Sama, Chewa Chima. Tene Yapoyan Chili Jendi, Kitchen Potato, Dada, Sonam with so Sahoya, Tipa Pangoya, Kiwa Trukuya. The Nera Ginyamon Bodhisutes Condru Jehoya, the Soda, Dirida, Sanjik Sundi, Teneda, Sanjik Denda Mariva, Zalam Denda Mariva. So the Kitchen Potato. Tene, Tenda Chivachimagale Hadi. So going to two marvels, then a Sanjik sugar and a Hawan, Tipa Ponkiwa to Chatirido. Beda, so no Chimorta, Charansu Sama. Sanjay test how much you have, as a no personal Chimaris.
And I would like to add that having this possibility of studying a text, I mean, we are just for 2 days, several hours, 4 hours yesterday, and again today, studying and talking and even answering questions about this practice of Amitabha and generally what the practice and what the path is, and in particular the infinite light path and the pure land path. And just with this coincidence that we'll have this session, we are on new moon, and all this is the result of our past merit. It doesn't come from nowhere. We whatever we can enjoy and the facilities we have now and the capacities and the opportunities, they come from our past deeds. From past life, actually. If in this life we can practice, get the teachings and an interest in the teachings and opportunity to receive them and contemplate and put them into practice, it's amazing. It's the result of a great exertion in previous lives. There has been a life when we have generated this aspiration to practice, to develop spiritually, and we have performed the good deeds and the activities and the mental effort that make it possible for us right now. So I think it's important to appreciate and really to be happy to be here with all these capacities and opportunities and freedom we have now to practice and to contemplate the teachings. As it is said that if you want to know what you have done in your past lives, look at where you are now, physically, materially now, what your body is, because this is the result. This is a karmic result from previous life. And if you want to know what will be your body and your condition next life, it is said that just look at what you're doing now, because what we're doing, physical, verbal, mental, is what will lead to the next existence, to the shape and the form and the experience we will have, and the kind of body, which means kind of birth we will have. So it's all about our activity, and we are very fortunate. I think we are very fortunate. I think we are amazingly fortunate, because the Dharma is so precious, and this freedom we have and these blessings we have in our life that makes us able to practice and to contemplate and all that. I think it's we are very, very fortunate, and this is a great merit.
Jiwa Chima, Nimaji Shini Shigir, then Yankee or Jiwa Chima, Zambuling de la Ke Kugudu, Milurimuchi Top Kugudu, Tene Marang Jiwa Chima de Tene Pemili Yabo Chilake Kugudu, Tene Marang Subu Devo Kugudu, Shirabi Yabo Kugudu, Tene Deva Kugudu, Ningje Kugudu. Tene khalasa disu samay gogido kangtar jiwa chimala suk zebo gogido ke yaqbo gogido longje yaqbo gogido khor yaqbo family yaqbo gogido sidere marangide ana sanje tende ko na kharche gore sidi tene jimbatang gore sumudo jimbatang na longje yaqbo yongore kangal kale yomares Tene sutum sungures, tene sugupe, tene zebo, ninjebo, ke yako ke gere sama kaya tenes. Tene seba gomgore, korpe yako aba ama pinja ke menchoga bu pe yako yomare. Sundi sanje kichona tangbo di jimba sutum seba di jewa chima dubido, jewa chima la milir mujito me yako yomare doa. Tene yang the Jagargi Lobin Lutu Nagajunagi Jewa Chima Milur Muchi Tomnata Zambuling Lakianata Tene Jewa Chenakia Sanje Gopong Tovia Diso Lela Bure Sumba Tangi Bure Namsong Wote Sumba Tinzong Tene Jewa Chima de Kechim Uchar Namsong Sanje Gopong Lamnata Kalekapurima Rimshin Tene Jena Tene Jimbatang Tsutum Sungure Sabakon Tinam Dividosam.
And so it just requires these good opportunities that we have obtained through our past activities, past lives activities. What we need to do in this life is just ensure we're not indulging into negative activities and that we are performing positive, beneficial activities, and that we keep our mental afflictions under control as much as we can. To some extent, we have to work on that. And all of this is not depending on the Buddha. It's not about the Buddha. It's about ourselves. We cannot expect that because we have a connection with the Buddha, all is done. It is our own responsibility. As well, it's not the guru, it's not the teacher. We cannot just think, okay, I have a good teacher, I have a good master, I have a good guru, I'm fine. No, it is our own responsibility to ensure we avoid negativity, we perform positivity, and we control our own mind. And with that, everything will be on the right track with all these conditions. If I take my example, okay, I'm going to die for sure, and I know that I'm going to die, and I know that I don't know when I'll die, but I try to keep in mind that I want to get this opportunity again, the same kind of opportunity, and to develop it. So at the minimal aim for next life is a proper human body. I want a good body, workable and pleasant, comfortable body. I want wisdom and intelligence with this body. I want also to be someone compassionate and kind. And I want to have a good entourage, a good family, good parents and brothers, sisters, uncles, cousins that are supportive spiritually. And I want material possession. I want good food. I mean, proper food and all the material ease, which means we all need that. We need a pleasant, comfortable, beautiful body, pleasant voice, beautiful voice, and the possession that will make our life not be a struggle, And we want also a nice family, nice people around us in our life, the parents, the brothers, sisters, uncles, aunties, and the cousins, all the people around us in our life. We want them to be nice people and supportive people. So how do we get that? How did we manage to get that? Because now we have the right condition. And how can we ensure to get that again? Basically, they are virtues to practice, which sometimes are also associated with enlightenment, like the paramitas, the perfections, but not now talking about perfection. For next life, generosity. Being generous in this life ensures that we'll get enough and comfortable material possession in the next life, and the comfort and the ease by being generous, and by being morally disciplined, which means following ethics. We ensure to have appreciation from the people around us, that we will be liked, that we will be supported by being by having ethical conduct. And through our tolerance and patience, we ensure that in the next life, the family and the entourage will be kind and will be supportive, will be tolerant and accepting and supportive. So all these conditions that support our practice, we can ensure them by practicing generosity, moral discipline, and tolerance. And so this is very important. Even though this can be also transcendent perfections, they are also basically practices that are important to ensure that we can follow the path life after life. And the greatest teacher and philosopher of Buddhism in India, in the history of Buddhism, was Nagarjuna. And he said, once you have managed to get this precious human existence, which is endowed with all these conditions that make it possible to practice and to receive the teachings and to practice, then it's very easy to ensure that we get out of samsara, be reborn in a pure field of a Buddha, or be fully enlightened. This is easy because the conditions are there. The main thing is to ensure we have these conditions, which we have right now. And that doesn't mean when we say it's easy, just get the precious existence and then it's all done. It's not all done immediately, instantaneously. It will be a progressive path, but we are on the path, which is the most difficult thing to ensure, to be on the right track. And then we can progress on the track gradually. So what I mean here is that we are fortunate, and it is important that we keep on being generous and having good ethics, and also being tolerant and patient.
So da tene da yang di nyamne di ko chu ge da shele ni a chapter ne jin do ge se yang jar.
So let's do together the practice. Kamdo ne dupela. Yeah. We just skip the introduction and we jump to page 2A, the refuge, page 2A. So we fold hands. Let's take refuge, and let's take refuge in the ways of the Mahayana with a great intent.
Nazo Kaja Dovaya Maleve Dezoe Janjo Baradoe Janjo Gojo Songe Sasama Janjala Nahavaya Daye Yervaya Daza Gaja Dovaya Madhava Deza Jajo Barado Jazoje Injikela.
Once in English. In Amitabha, who truly is the three jewels, the three roots, and an ocean of masters surrounded by the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, I, and as many beings as space can hold, all without exception, take refuge from today until enlightenment.
Tenenda kunju sumgi chavyul gu tenla tenen anzo tekbachimbo semchege tekbachimbo semche seti semchen tamche rangi pamare pamandiso tene ngesong sumle patane turi midang halakea tartuk tene turi ne tene turi lapa tene jancho toya deso tedalange sanjegi chula tosum gomsum chegen samne promisi chekora.
And the next bit is the generation and development of our mind of enlightenment, which means that we now commit to reaching enlightenment and therefore to receive the teachings, contemplate, reflect upon them, and apply them intellectually and then practically through meditation, apply them to our own life and mind stream for the sake of all sentient beings, in order to liberate or to get all sentient beings to be free from samsara, from the ocean of suffering.
Re re do korve pama de jana aize me nyenje trabe alaine aindo sebe solera ondode ala me janjo to paraise menjendo are do korave pamai denjana aize menyenje drabe go alaine aindo ingazebe solera undode ala me janjo tobar semenjendo.
She, the 6 classes of beings of samsara, my very kind fathers and mothers, feeling an unbearable compassion, I resolve to liberate them definitely from samsara's ocean of suffering, so that they obtain unsurpassable awakening.
Teneda sumba yela dimbare da yela dimba diyang chawige laso la chawige laso konjo sumla tene yela dimba ki nyame dyonki tuyla yela dimba ki nyame chego yore di kain se na khasan laso sonam ki sok mena Tene sonangi somena kujusumgi jinabi anjuk to gumidawa. Simjela yawa jete gumidawa. Kechishu du sonam sako, sonam gisota ishiso. Tinzang tene yala dumbadida sonam gisok sayaki yona menade yala dumbares.
Next is the 7-branch prayer. And we, until now, and still right now, we are visualizing and bringing to our mind the presence of the 3 jewels in front of oneself. They are the places where we take refuge, the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. So they are still in front of oneself. And in front of them, we will perform this 7-branch prayer, starting from prostration and so on. And why do we do that now? We already explained that yesterday. It's because without merit and without wisdom, there is no way to develop spiritually and to reach enlightenment. And especially, we need to accumulate, that means to gather as much and to create as much positive energy within our mind stream and within our life, which we do by performing these 7 branches of accumulation of merit. So this is what we do right now. To Amitabha, the Buddhas, their offsprings, and the noble Shravakas and Pratika Buddhas, I prostrate, make offerings, and confess negative acts. I rejoice in virtues. I request you to turn the wheel of Dharma, not to pass into Nirvana, and to remain constantly in this world. I dedicate all the roots of virtue to enlightenment.
Tene nganzo chu nyamlin jedi barche mangbo yorbo. Tene barche di chi barche mi suk body. Tene yang body maimba. Sem di hang god. Sukchen na sukme di nganzo lo barche chigawla. Tene nangi barche. Nangi barche di nyonmungba rangjula tusha shedan timbo. Nangi barche. Sangwe barche di tene tongbanyi komyala tene di habang di sangwe barche je chi nang sangwe barche di so nyamlin jewe kala meba gozang tene torma tene kek tuyo siti chi nang sangwe barche dogo yaro diran.
Next part of the ritual is to deal with the demons which create obstacles. And when we talk about those obstacles for a spiritual practitioner who is engaging in the practice as we are right now with this ritual, there are 3 types of obstacles: the external obstacles, the inner obstacles, and the secret obstacles. That means innermost obstacles. So the external obstacles, they are the people or the things that have a physical existence and that can harm or impede us or interfere physically, like human beings who are physically there in our life. They exist physically in our life and they can create obstacles. But these external obstacles are also entities or forces or energies that cannot be seen, that have no physical gross existence, such as spirits and all kinds of spirits and negative forces that are roaming around and may harm. Especially in the Himalayan culture, there's a lot of emphasis on spirits. And that's the external obstacles. And then the inner obstacles are what is within ourselves. First off, our own resistance and negativity, our own stupidity and attractions, desires and aversions and hatred, and all these negative, afflictive states of our mind that create a hindrance and prevent us from a practice or a successful, effective, and efficient practice. And then there is the secret obstacle, which is that we don't understand and we don't try to rest on the understanding and the realization of emptiness. So this is the most secret or innermost obstacles. And we don't want any of these obstacles, external, inner, or secret, to interfere now and to prevent our practice to be successful. So there is a part of the ritual which is called the offering or dedication of the toma of the troublemakers, the demons, or the obstacle creators. So what we just said is, I am the great powerful Heruka, assembly of demons, negative beings, harmful spirits. Take this toma, which pleases the senses, and go to the other side of the ocean. And then we recited this powerful mantra, which forcefully expels all these negative energies and spirits. Om Sumbani Sumbani Hum Hum, and so on. And as we do that, now we want to cut ourselves off these negative forces, and we build a fence. We've set a fence which is made of wisdom, and it's called the circle of protection, which is a sort of security, ensuring that now that we have expelled these negative energies, they cannot harm us, they cannot come back, because there is this circle of protection around us. Here, as we play the bell, if we have a small damaru, we can also play the small damaru. Small damaru is the little drum, hand drum. So we just said, she, in the three worlds of Pema Heruka, as a result of the play of great wisdom, not even the names demon or harmful spirit exist. Samsara and Nirvana are wisdom's great expanse.
Tene damaru tini ku tila dido damaru alaba tak ni.
Okay, when we play the damaru, you know, we have accelerated and then quite fast play of the little drum, and then when we end, we make one sort of dry sound, and sometimes we make two, and sometimes we make three. Here we make two. We end the the churning, or I don't know how to say, the playing of this little hand drum with the two greater sounds.
다 진배브다 소소라 선제 단 전지스 마탐지 먼저 냠는 징일라 진랍 왕디서 냠는 지초하기 되는 제르피 바르신제가.
And then it's called the shower of blessings, and as we said, we call the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas headed by Amitabha to shower upon us the blessings and the empowerment that enables us to do the practice successfully. So again, we recite in Tibetan and we invoke the blessing in Tibetan, and then there is the mantra or the formula Om Amitabha Abhishaya A, which is in Sanskrit, and which brings down the shower of blessing through our meditative state. And when we recite this formula, we play the bell and we play the hand drum, the damaru. And as we conclude the play and the mantra and the formula, then again it is a double sound, strong sound to conclude the play. So tak tak at the end of the play of the damaru. And what we just said is Shri, from the peerless palace of great bliss, protector Amitabha, protectors, assembly of Sugatas and victorious Bodhisattvas, shower me with your grace and bestow the initiation upon me.
Tene da choba chilamreba, tene ramyam kams, tene nganzagi njingi namdo tamze mebaja, tene chinang sangwa choba, semgita, tene tanda sanje me latsolo, choba piyaki tati chekyo, tila dere.
And then the blessing of the offerings. So as we have explained, we resort to the seed syllables Ram, Yom, Kang, and with that we purify all offerings, the one we have prepared physically on the altar, and mostly what we emanate and imagine with our mind filling the space. All this is purified from the main dirt, the main dirt, which is the dualistic grasping. So all is purified, all the attachment to reality and all dualistic concepts are purified. And as we recite that, we hold the Vajra and the bell. And it's not yet the moment when we offer the offerings, it's just preparing and consecrating the offerings.
Ramyam Gama Munje Namdo Tom Baraja Donye Ile Regbe Adar Chena Sawa Chebe Asam Nam Kedu Yoga
Okay. Attachment to reality and concepts are purified by emptiness. From the ultimate sphere of emptiness and the dynamism of awareness come clouds of exterior, interior, and secret offering, immaculate space treasure. And we play the bell. We don't play the namaru here, just the bell.
Teneda muishi dakche dang junje komedi libarta dakche genesi komedi.
So next is after all this preparation and setting the scene of the main practice comes the meat of it, the main body of the practice, which is generating oneself as an enlightened being, in this case, the great compassion, Chenrezig, and in front of oneself, generating the Buddha, Amitabha.
The Sharja Tugenda, Tambo Chen is a Tachikum, Teniba Sigdilidi, Rangi Dinkenagar, Sanjay Bomayabo, set up Digital Cho Shi, Samji, Tengu, Sanjay, the judges of Matamji, Khan, Sugar, Samati, Nachasant.
So it has several sections. The first one, we focus on ourselves. We generate ourselves as Avalokiteshvara, Chenrezig. When this is done and we really visualize and see ourselves as Chenrezig, the next step is in front of oneself is the Buddha Amitabha, who is our root guru. And when this is done, we visualize the entourage of Buddha Amitabha, which means in all the directions, the 4 cardinal, the 4 intermediate, and the nadir and the zenith are also filled with Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, protectors, no enlightened and saint of all traditions. And then the next part will be light radiating and inviting the primordial awareness. So it's several stage generation. Want to lock or it? So we'll do this in English. So it starts page at the last line, last verse of page 4. 3. The quality of samsara nirvana, devoid of concept, since beginningless time, unobstructed natural radiance, all-pervading compassion, undifferentiated great union. On the lotus and moon cushion, the letter Shri immediately transforms into myself, the great compassionate one, noble altruism. His body is a glowing white, like a resplendent conch shell. He has one face, 4 arms, and is clothed with the attributes of the Sambhogakaya. In his first two joined hands, he holds a wish-fulfilling jewel which bestows all needs and desires. The other two hold a crystal mala and a white lotus. His appearance is without substance, like a rainbow. The realm of this space, visualized before you, is fulfilled with clouds of various offerings permeating space. In the middle is a white lotus with 100,000 open petals. On it is a full moon disk upon which resides the root guru, one with the protector Amitabha, luminous red with a ruby-colored aura, one face, 2 arms, and 2 legs in the Vajra posture. His body is beautifully clothed with the 3 robes of the Dharma. His 2 hands, placed on over the other, hold a lapis lazuli bowl. He has a crown protuberance, and on the sole of each foot, a Dharma wheel. He is ornamented with the 32 excellent major signs and the 80 minor marks. Above and below him, in all the cardinal and intermediate directions, visualize Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, the noble Sangha, Gurus, Yidam, Dakinis, and Dharma protector, an immeasurable entourage like clouds filling the sky. The principal deities' 3 places are in the nature, the 3 Vajras marked with Om, Ah, Hung, and Shri, from which radiate countless rays of light to the realms of the 10 directions. This invite the assemblies of wisdom deities. And here, as we invite, as it says, inviting the assemblies of wisdom deities, we play the bell and we play the hand drum, the damaru, and we end the play of the damaru with only 1 single stack. So you can mark, you can put the annotation. So now, as we embark on this invitation, there are 4 lines and a Sanskrit formula for the invitation. So let's do it. So when we chant this, you notice it's not 4 verses, it's 5, so it's not an even number. Therefore, we recite the last verse twice, Mato Nyoroa, Nidushe Susel, and then we recite the Sanskrit expression. As we do that, we play the bell and the damaru, Om Amidewa Shivanja, Samaya Zaza, Abeshaya, A, and we end with only 1 single tsarsh, which means 1 strong, dry beat at the end of playing.
tene ishige laso nam jen changne shuksu sol saterda shuksu solwan tere.
And now that we have invited these wisdom beings, we request them to be seated and to stay, to remain with us.
Diri dagi nganzu gomsha chiyorwa, digi ishi sembatisa pepne, tene dila timgi yorwa, tene isimewa jirwa, damsi sembata ishi semba, nimedu yorwa.
The idea is that we have visualized ourselves as Avalokiteshvara and Amitabha in front and all the Buddhas in front filling the space. And now we want this to be pervaded and suffused by wisdom, by the enlightened wisdom of all the Buddhas. So therefore we invited them to bring their primordial awareness and blessing. And we request that this stays, that this remains in the scene we have set through our visualization. So it's a sort of fusion, that melting of the primordial blessing, primordial wisdom coming and merging with our visualization. This is what we mean when we request to remain.
Yeah. Nyam nye dewa chembe janzela samaya titalil atibu tatiza tadila dibu tamaru gaya minduda.
Okay, so here as we request the wisdom to remain with our visualization, we join hands and we don't play the bell or the damaru. So we just say on a beautiful, I'm just reading the translation here. No, I mean, whatever is written is what we read for now. On a beautiful throne with a lotus and moon cushion, the principal wisdom deity and the surrounding assembly of deities, please remain forever inseparable from the Danzig paths. I prostrate with the great bliss of equanimity. Samaya tiktalen atipuho pratitsaho.
Dene sanje Amitabha ki laso la chi nang sangwa ki chiba piyare tadere.
And now we present the offerings, the external, the inner, and the secret offerings.
Nam gaiva na je mera tor me aje bae sanje nyonjo de je re ma donzer lo de che bambelom za argam bandam bibendu aloge gende shabda de zabu dila dribu dramaru zarsum dila.
So the text that we chant in Tibetan express the presentation of the offerings, the fact of actually offering the external, inner, and secret offerings. And then we have what we just recited in Sanskrit. And at the end, we play the bell and the damaru. And when we play the damaru, we end the play of the damaru with 3 dry, strong tar beats. So the text says, 3 outer offerings, senses goddess, fill the entire space. Inner offering, I offer men, Rakta, and Torma. Secret offering, the union between great bliss and the wisdom consort. For the purpose of ultimate offering, union of clarity and emptiness beyond intellect.
Amrinda Radhagara Kaye Maya Benza Amrinda Radhagara Kaye Maya Benza Amrinda Radhagara Kaye 다 되네 지나 상황이 쳐봐디 되네 내내 대화 친구들 동반이라 전에 찾아서 뭐 필요 무다 담마다도
And so Mahapansa Amrita Rakta Karamkahi is the offering of the inner offerings. And we recite this 3 times with the muja that represents the offering of Amrita, men, and which is called men in Tibetan, it's the nectar, and the offering of Rakta, which we usually translate as Rakta. And that was the inner offering, men Rakta, and Torma, and Muja Dharma Dhatu A is the 3rd offering, the secret offering. And as we recite it and we contemplate the meaning, which is the great union of the ultimate primordial expanse, and we perform this mudra where we cross Vajra and Bel, the great union, and we cross the arms on our chest. As we end the formula, which is Muja Dharmada to A.
다 되바르다 되바 전도지는 되고지라 와든지 되바르다
If I may add, when you see A with the H at the end, it means it's a long one. The second is very long. Next step is praise. Sorry, praise we offer to the wisdom deities. And for that, we still hold the Vajra and the bell. And as we praise, usually very often we praise with the joined hands, but here we hold the bell in the left hand and the right hand holds the Vajra. And therefore we don't exactly fold hand, but we bring the hand with extended fingers. We bring it with extended fingers as if we are joining hands at the level of the heart. So with that, we conclude the praise and we conclude all what we had to perform in front of Buddha Amitabha. Now we just connect with this prayer of, as we explained this morning, being reborn in Devachan and being inseparable from Amitabha or Amitabha. So as you noticed, we played the bell anytime we said, I pay homage and praise you, which in Tibetan reads as Chatsel Tu. So second line, second verse, and first line, first verse. We play the bell. So now we do the request before we recite the mantra. Oh, let's read the praise in English. Shri, Amitabha, you unify in you all the Buddhas, unchanging, red in color with a ruby radiance. Your unobstructed voice possesses the 60 qualities. Your unwavering mind is unelaborated great bliss. I praise your body, which is the three kayas of great wisdom. Sugatas, turn the wheel of the Dharma, always look upon beings with compassion. So as I said, it's not a request. You turn the wheel of Dharma, you always look upon beings with compassion. You guide all migrating beings on the perfectly pure path. I pay homage and praise you, compassionate ones of skillful means. So, and we join hands now for the request. Three times. So we usually do 3 times. We'll do the third time in English. So a second line as last verse, myself and the infinitude of all beings. As soon as this life is over, may we be born in the pure land of great bliss and see the face of protector Amitabha. May we have a long life without illness and be happy. May we be inseparable from the protector Amitabha. So if you, before we recite the mantra, we can consecrate our rosary reciting Omrutsi Ramani Prawadana Yesoha. So if you have your mala, you can do that. We recite 21 times the mantra Omrutsi Ramani Prawadana Yesoha. So you take your mala from the main bead, the main pearl, and then you let it be rounding like a coiled snake in your hand, so that it's like that. You hold the right hand slightly over as if you covered, but not completely covered, and then you can count with your thumb on your fingers 21 mantras. So we count 3 per finger.
Omruzaramana Davadana Zamruzaramana Davadana Zamruzaramana Davadana Omruzaramana Davadana Zamruzaramana Davadana Omruzaramana Davadana Omruzaramana Davadana Zamruzaramana Omruzaramana Davadana.
And then we blow the energy of this mantra on the mala and we spread it.
Dene Amid Ama Umami Devari, Dene Yang Tena Matena Soso Rawanda, Dene Yang Tenane, Dene Kashit, Dene Umami Devaris.
And then we recite the mantra of Amitabha, Om Amitabha Shri, and we can accumulate and count. And if we do so, then we count by but a regular number of rosaries, of series of hundreds of mantra.
Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare. Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare. Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare. 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 Om Amidevare, 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 Om Amidevare. Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare. Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare. Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare. Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare. 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 Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare. Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare, Om Amidevare. Om Amidevare, 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 Om Amidevare. Om Beda Satu Samaya, Beda Balaya, Beda Satu Tinupa, Tita Nudum. Sudogoya Mebawa, Zubogoya Mebawa, Nuroda Mebawa, Zarvazid Medaya, Zarvagar Mazuda. Sidam Shiram Guru Homa Ha Ha Ho Magavana Sarvata Benzama Mimoza Bezemo Mahasamaya Sato Om A I U Ril E Wanga Gaga Ganga Zazazanya Dana Dana Baba Yarala Washaka Zahaja So Ha Om Edama Edu Draba Eden the Kendada Ayawada de Kenda Yenera Yom Badema Jarmana Yaso. Teneda so pia de liver that so this sama habo namji pia chipare so de la tene ramyam kama oma hungi ten so de la june tene sanje ba me tene cho shi chamje tengogi sanje da janje ma kan sama la tene so de da mambu juru ya la me ho ma de tia cho pia res tenamji da re da tela de she kan no.
Yes. So we completed the main session of the practice of Amitabha. As you can see, page 8, there's several sets of lines in italic. If you look at the second set, the last paragraph, and in the middle of it, second line, it says, at the end of the session, recite the 100 syllables, the Sanskrit consonant and vowels, and the mantra of interdependence, and so on, which is just what we have done. So in this way, we end the main body of the practice. And here in our text, we have what comes next, which is completely optional and which is not specific to this text. You have it, it's written in the italic. Then if you set out to do a Gana Chakra performance, then you set out the Gana Chakra substances, all excellent foods and drinks that you have, such as meat, alcohol, etc. So there's an entire teaching about what this means and how to do that and what it represents. But overall, it's about setting a feast with offerings, as many as we can, and gathering as many practitioners as possible, and inviting all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to present these offerings, which are completely transformed through our meditation and sacred syllables, Oma, Hung, Ramyam, Kam, to transform whatever makes our ordinary perception and existence of this scene into a primordial wisdom and great bliss ritual. So this is not specific to Amitabha, and it's really general Gana Chakra practice, which is a very esoteric practice, but there is no specific instructions and explanation for this one.
Okay, page 8A.
So let's do it together. Page 8A.
She Rani Zembe Tule Ramyam Kam Trebe So Mada Sector Oma Hungi Same Jawa Yeje Jesu Ramyam Kam Dirna Ome A Hung Ome A.
You do this mudra as you recite Om.
That's how we celebrate.
This is for the consecration. This is the gesture that supports this consecration of the substances and the offerings. So as we said,
Dene so pisa yudu so dene yang manzola dene shuguyorwa.
So that was the consecration of the Gana Chakra offering. So this is very separate part of ritual, which is additional. So first we consecrate and bless the offerings, which we just did, and we do that as we sprinkle the substances. We perform a visualization, a meditation, and we recite what we just said. Shri, I am the Bodhisattva. From my heart radiate Ram, Yang, Kam, which in turn burn, blow, and wash the impurities of the Gana Chakra. With Om, Ah, Hum, the substances become a flow of unblemished nectar, Samaya substances, which cause the Buddhas to rejoice And then we recite Ramyam Kam Omahum with this gesture, this mudra. And then we perform the offering itself.
Tuje chemo guru bema joy jevanya do toja anje nezoga do danje sawa so je gor ola minge ye ne dere je zo sa ne jona Dam je je jo nyan je lo ye she jo sa do so mu da je ne ma sa ma ya za dene dramaru zarchik rangda.
So that was not yet the actual presentation of the offerings, it was the invitation of the guest for the feast. And we conclude this invitation with the mantra from Sanskrit formula, Om Guru Dakini Vadra Samaya Za Za, which invites them, and we play the bell and the damaru, and when we conclude Tsar Chik Drubpon, we end with just one dry single Tsar at the end. So let's read it in English. Starts page 8a, third line. Shri, from the paradise of the three kayas, without center or borders, protector Buddha Amitabha of discriminating wisdom, most compassionate Guru Padmasambhava, his 25 accomplished disciples, and the ocean of accomplished beings, Dakinis of the three places, and the ocean of oath-bound beings. In this place of the secret Gana Chakra of great bliss from the non-manifest sphere, come and pour down great wisdom upon these yogis and practitioners. Bless this sublime, liberating Samaya substances. Bestow upon us the accomplishment of sublime wisdom. When we say his 20 is your 20, because we're talking to them, we're inviting them. So most compassionate Guru Padmasambhava, and line 9, your 25 accomplished disciples, you come down, come and pour down great wisdom. Om Guru Dakini Vadra Samaya Zaza.
속 시행이 라서 남카 강요 속디겐 점벌린 강 요다 얘기 줄네 다디 초바 피규어 구슴 신슈 상제여 밤에 데네라마 이담 판도 자와져서 하서 참제라 상매기 뒤지 소주 제바디 피규어 툭 제보제네 시에네 다다심제라 초바 투무도 나로나 세가 되르다.
So now at this stage we're going to offer the Tsok, the Gana Chakra, which means we are now in a state of contemplation when the space is filled with our guests, which are all the enlightened and saint beings of all the universe, past, present, future. And the space is also filled with our display of offerings, which through our meditation, through our mental visualization and imagination, we fill the space with the offerings, the Gana Chakra offerings, pure, immaculate offerings, immaculate, which means not stained by dualistic grasping. And now we offer, so as we offer page 9a and the first part, which is the best part, what comes first, we say, Protector Amitabha, who resides in the paradise of the three Kayas, the three roots, Buddhas, and ocean of assemblies of deities, I offer you this Gana Chakra of pure nectar. Enjoy it and bestow upon me the ordinary and supreme accomplishments. It is as we offer this Gana Chakra, this pure nectar of realization that we offer, filling the space, not only the Guru, the Buddhas, the Amitabha, they rejoice, they enjoy, and they rejoice, and they enjoy it, but they, in return, they bestow upon us the blessing of all the spiritual accomplishments. We don't play instrument at this stage. We just let the arms rest, the hands rest.
Are gozom shishu gego mame zazo enjewa ye janje Samen düze ye zoy je ambame je chode gemendo saldozo amgura de ada kene kana sadam puja sa
And here we, as we recite the Sanskrit formula which actualize the offering, we say Om Guru Devada Kinigana Chakra Puja Ka Ka Kai Hi. We play the bell, we play the Damaru, and we end the play of the Damaru with the three dry, quick tar. And you may have noticed I there add that when we chant this, we add a syllable after every fourth syllable, kusum shingchu, and then we add e and sasum gerwa yi gersola sola samiduti yi tokichipavu gishijotmi muduktel so that it fits with the rhythm. We add an extra syllable just for the melody.
Sangagi lula soju chiba pyadi kare seti dikwa chapar dikwa tagyo tere tin sangda tanda dila si dagi tseram ngone tati bar sedi shakbo pygyo tanganzo anzo tseram mangbo la dikwa shacha chite so tene so pisagi tene lhaso ge tunla den konda dikwa de shakyo tere.
When we perform a Gana Chakra, which is a tantric feast with many offerings, many guests, many practitioners, and we gather all the wisdom of all the practitioners, all the realization, it's a very important moment also to purify our own negativities. And therefore, it includes, the Gana Chakra includes a confession, a purification. So we have to vow, acknowledge our negativity and present it in front of all these enlightened ones. And in this context and esoteric scene, Vajrayana tantric scene, it's the time to lay down, to put down our own negativity, to get rid of it. So that is what comes next. It's called the confession, and we're going to chant this part.
yin bedo no ye ba yin da bede ala de ba kunde la nye ba izere Kozama lendo mo de mo nyundo sum go to sum tar sums shapatel.
When we end this recitation, we play the bell and the hand drum and the damaru, and we end with a triple tsar at the end. So what we just said is 3, the confession. Throughout all my past lives until now, that which is the cause of falling into the lower worlds of samsara, the 10 negative acts, the 5 acts with immediate consequence, all stains and all downfalls of the 3 types of vows, with great regret and much remorse, I disclosed them. Being free of all obstructions and having been cleared of all faults, enable me to swiftly realize the fruit, the 3 kayas, spontaneous presence.
Da dene igja den namka zedido igja sanama savata da ga mai bashim so sedi yang jinji labyorti cheze diso tudam 공제 세도 두덤 공제 세대 맨날 라파 도마 되는데 데레다디 집에 제대설라 양 망고 선양 야 피어들 왔더래.
And next is part of the Gana chakra, and it is what we call the restorative substances, which is a special offering that will fulfill the commitment with also different kinds of spiritual entities. So it's also part of the confession and offering of the Gana chakra, and it comes with the fulfillment and the repair of our connection. And with that, we do what a special gesture, which is called, it's written page 10 in italic. The following is the mantra of the fulfillment substances, the space treasure. So it's, anyway, it's a mudra and a mantra that come together, which are called the space treasure, and which, along with the visualization and the meditative state, purifies and multiplies the offerings, filling the space. That's why it's called space treasure. And not going into the details, but this is the way it is performed, and we imagine that the fulfillment substances are in this way transformed and transformed into substances that will repair our connection and that will fulfill whatever promises we have done and commitment we have done, and that the link is completely restored, fulfilled.
Om Bezar Zato Zamaya Manubalaya Bezar Zato Dinamba Dita Dito Meba Soto Goya Mebawa Sobo Goya Mebawa Doranda Mebawa Sarva Siddhimen Sarva Karma Suzame Zedam Jerem Guru Ha Ha Ho Bhagavana Sarva Dada Bezar Mame Moja Beze Bawa Mahasam Sato Nama Sarva Dada Gata Bayu Bushu Muke Be Sarva Ugade Sabarana Imam Gagane Kamso Ha Nama Sarva Dada Gata Bayu Bushu Muke Be Sarva Gate Sabarana Imam Gagane Kamso Nama Sarva Dada Gata Bayu Bushu Muke Be Sarva Ugade Sabarana Imam Gagane Kamso. And then those are the devotion.
Then we play, so we recited the 100 syllable mantra as part of the confession that we did before. And now along with this space treasure and this mantra and this mudra, now we play the bell and the damaru.
Tila damaru sarsum go. Tene kangwa sedire, tudam kang sedi, shakbarang, idam gala sonamla. Tene konda, tene charanzo tuknala karyuti, ngaki tene, prezi hawana, manzakita, te offering chene dire tudam. Tudam kang sedi, dirva, ngala kar kugidu, di michi gitena, tene nga kagirva, tene ngi tudam kang sere.
So when we conclude, finish this part, again, we play the damaru and the bell. Damaru tsar kashid
Sum.
3 times. The tsar at the end is 111. So we can read that section in English, which is called the fulfillment. So how, where is it? Yeah, it's mentioned page 10 in the italic. The following is the mantra of the fulfillment substances. It's called fulfillment substances, and there is a mantra to consecrate, which is called the space treasure, and the practice is called fulfilling, and it is filling the broken gap, the broken link is we are filling the gaps, we are filling the broken connection. And the way we do that is through offering whatever could fulfill that. So if you look in the text, for instance, page 11, second line, you have, I read the phonetics or the Tibetan, but you can read the phonetics. Kushi Hundup Lame Tukdam Kang, and then Gumbu Uba Meki Tukdam Kang, and then the Shegewagetsu Tukdam Kang. So you have this expression Tukdam Kang, which comes also the next line, it ends with Tukdam Kang and Tukdam Kang. If you can add a H if you want, Tukdam Kang and Tukdam Kang. So this is what we call the fulfillment. We perform this fulfilling practice, which is saying, I'm sorry, I didn't respect what would make our connection full and fulfilled. And I am now fulfilling it. So whatever in your mind, in your heart, you expect and you would like, I bring it. So therefore we call our fulfillment substances, like we're bringing as an offering what will fill the broken, the gap that we have created by not respecting our commitment, a spiritual commitment to goodness, to kindness, and to effort and exerting oneself. So this being said, let's look at the text, page 10a. So it's called the fulfilling restoration with the help of offering. 3. And we can read slowly together usually. I'm sorry, I'm reading a bit fast. So slowly. 3. In this lotus pure land of great bliss, the Gana chakra of wonderful samaya substances, the sublime secret conduct of great bliss, the men, dharma, rakta, union and liberation, my projections, all the phenomena of the three world, the substances of fulfilling, substances of support, and great substances of accomplishment, clouds of exterior, interior, and secret offerings, surpassing thought, unobstructed knowledge, are since beginningless time free of the three reference points, the primordial sphere, free from the movement of the three times, radiant awareness, expanse of rainbow light, inside the tigli of uncontaminated, peaceful, and wrathful light bodies, dazzle and dazzle. All is permeated by the vast equanimity of the great sphere. With this, I fulfill the mind of the Guru endowed with the four kayas. I fulfill the mind of protector Amitabha. I fulfill the mind of an ocean of victorious Sugatas. I fulfill the mind of an ocean of bodhisattvas. I fulfill the mind of peaceful and wrathful victorious deities. I fulfill the mind of the dakas and dakinis of the three places. I fulfill the mind of an ocean of Vajra Dharma guardians. Having fulfilled their minds, or your minds, because we're talking to them, having fulfilled your minds, I confess my downfalls, broken vows, concepts, and veils in the Dharma Dhatu. Then there is the enjoyment of the tzok, which is distributed, and then there is the leftover, which here is called the remnants. So after enjoying the tzok, there's a part of it, of the offerings, which is left aside as a remnant or leftover or an extra section, which is now dedicated to certain kind of guests. So it's called dedication of the remnants here.
Shi Wang Chen Be Ma Ye Ru Ge Chin Kor Jong We Kando Da Ging Da Lan Ga Bar Ma Se De Ye La Dur Di Je La Ne Jur Che Da Tem Ba Ye Cher Ve Le Ge Drubpon Balinda Khaye Tamaru Tsarsum.
As we pronounce Balinta Kahi, we play the damaru, the hand drum, and we end with a triple tsar. Let's read it in English, this section of the dedication of the remnants, what is called remnants, but it's the usual section of leftover. 3. The mandala of powerful Padma Heruka, its exterior protected by the Dakinis, guardian skeleton spirits, furies of Lanka. Accept this pleasant Dharma remnants, accomplish all the activities in harmony with the Dharma, that this practitioner entrusts you.
Dene Bami Ji Jingurdo, so Jin Kolo, Chobai, Dashin Toa.
My Lepa.
Jingurju don't do Barajani, don't do me, Magajin, Labje, Jebanzo, Banda, Bamedanya. Kovan Zinder Dubjur de Gorje, Kunje, de Zamhaye, Bengewa, Malijit, the Chinjan Chuki, Jingurdo, Guzum, Jesse, Jem, Top Chiringo, Daddy, Damalam Davchera.
So this is a general wish that comes after any Gana chakra. Let's read it together. Page 12. So here it's for Amitabha. In the mandala of Amitabha, by offering this circle of Gana chakra, may I and other beings without exception attain realization in the same mandala. No longer covered by the impurities of falls and downfalls, and having completed great waves of practice, may I then attain the state equal to Amitabha in this very life. I dedicate all virtues accumulated throughout the 3 times of samsara and nirvana, that which has come into being and that which has not, as yet, gathered as one into this mandala of great bliss and supreme enlightenment, for attainment of the great kingdom of the 3 kayas, 3 bodies.
That's someone said, Dagi, the watching the Kia Melamgi, Togi Keture, set the Melamgi Pecha Mamboy and a young Namji Dudi Emma Hong was her Sanji, the watching like a Madam. What is her sum dungi, la whatever.
And so the Gana chakra section is finished. And now before the practice is completed and concluded, rather before it's concluded, because the purpose is to accomplish this attainment of the pure land of Amitabha. There are many practices and especially many aspiration prayers where we express this wish to be reborn in Dewachen. And here they have added, it's been added one of the most powerful and concise aspiration prayer, which is cultivating the wish to be reborn in Dewachen. So we usually recite it 3 times before we conclude.
Endo Zambai do Jendo Nala Sanje Jazamba me Gojeba Deje Mozara Bando Memba Yedeva Jeje Jave Jingam Tane Dene Sebe Jurmanda Chewa Jinji Barma Jemaro Deroi Jene Nande Jedo Dike Dage Amala Etabande Choje Sanje Janse Medam Jeje Gingme Dubara Jenjelam Deya Daya Benza Deya Awa Bodana Soima Oimodara Sanje Nawa Daya Daya Soijo Tuje Chemboda Endo Zambai to Jendo Nala Sanje Janzamba me Gunja Deje Ngondara Bando Memba Yedewa Jenje Jingam Der Tane Dene Teve Jumada Chewa Jinji Barmaja Dero Jene Nande Jadosho Dige Dage Amala Dabade Jeje Sanje Janse Mendam Jeje Gingme Dubara Jenjela Deya Daya Benza Deya Awa Bodana Yeso Ijiketola Chik.
So instead of 3 times in Tibetan, let's do the last 3rd time in English, page 12a. Wemahu, wonderful, the wonderful Buddha, infinite light, Amitabha. To his right, the Lord, great compassion, Chenrezig. To his left, the Bodhisattva great power, Vajrapani. They are surrounded by countless Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. A marvelous and immeasurable happiness prevails in this pure land called the blissful one, Tewa Chen. As soon as we have come to live this life without taking rebirth anywhere else, may we be reborn there and gaze upon the face of infinite light. This aspiration we have thus expressed, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions. Please grant your blessing so that this aspiration is fulfilled. The last sentence is missing, but you guess.
Tama Sarita Tama Dirimla Lipiara, Tagi Samlatan Shajis Padigo, Diladi, Teneshi, Kacham Jova Dagula, Tim City, Rani Chenesi from the Yaro, Kachab Gendori to the Semjan Tam, Simki Samgor, Simjan Tamji, Javigina Bachin the Ranga, Rang Chenesi la Timson Samgor, Tata. Kansena Korwadi Mevata Ketcher, Korwadi Pinistoya, Kacham Joa Dagi Latin Chikche. Dani Semanang de Tugartim City, Rani Yang, Rangyang, Vedushune, Tene Vechung Chin, Sanjay make it to Latin. Dani Semanang de Tugartim, Nanta Mimichi to Tene Tama. Sanjay Obama Diang, Tene, Jawagan Baba, Tene Tombala Jangne, Tene, Corsum Lady Yellow Chimbra, Skangtar, Sama Dusane, Corsum Mimikba, Tene, Yellow Tombayingala, Dagi, Manzo Tombani Ketchamang bushes on Mayingba, Emba request, Tene Mala, Chimbra. Sedene de Tombanyala, Sugar Tombanyala, Sama Tene, the Junet Tombanjana Potila, there's Comjapora.
So with this, the practice is completed, and now we need to dissolve it all, bring all the realization into oneself and dedicate the merit. So page 13a is the, as it says in italic, you can see it ends with the saying, finally, the dissolution phase. And this is how the dissolution is done. I'm reading the translation directly. The beings which fill space, so we have visualized as it says, it's said, but this in Tibetan, it's the same, exactly the same word. Before it was as many as the space can hold, which means filling space. The beings fill space, and all these beings now melt into light. And this process of melting all beings into light is like putting an end to samsara, which is exactly what we want to do from the beginning of the practice, is bring all sentient beings to the great realization, which liberates them from turning round and round. So here, this is what we do as a conclusion. All sentient beings now turn into light, and I am great compassion. And they all this light comes and gathers and comes and dissolve into, as it says here, melt into my body. So in the form of light, it's a gathering of light, bringing all sentient beings out of samsara by bringing them into the body of great compassion. And myself, great compassion, I melt, I also turn into light, and this light dissolves into the heart of my great being, well, the great enlightenment, Amitabha. And in having performed this dissolution within the heart of Amitabha, everything is dissolved, and there only remains the primordial. There is no more conceptualization. We just rest without fabrication in this primordial awareness, which here is referred to as unreferenced Dhammadhatu, which means it's the state where there is no reference to anything, no grasping, no fabrication, no reference. That's why it's called unreferenced Dhammadhatu. is the primordial sphere beyond the three reference point. Whatever that means, it means there is no more conceptualization, no more fabrication. This is emptiness. This is the state where we stop, we don't grasp, we don't solidify, we don't identify any self, oneself or the self of any phenomenon. Nothing is grasped as existing. What we just developed and discussed this morning, the emptiness, the lack of inherent existence, the absence of existence, nor existing nor non-existing. So we just rest in this state of non-fabrication. And this is expressed, this emptiness, contemplation, realization is here gathered into the sound and the syllable ah. And there we rest. So we can read it in English.
Mm-hmm.
The beings which fill space melt into my body, and I melt into the heart of the great being Amitabha, unreferenced Dharmadhatu, the primordial sphere beyond the three reference points. Ah.
Ondila da gom nyam shak gom jabe da disi ngoma di dire da tene pa de chama rangla timne rani yami mi ba tong ba ni da chone dingala tene ka ma khache chi gom ja disi dire dila nyam shak se ga nyam shak ke ma ba te nyam shak la yurung bu de tu ba ba tene lam sang tene je to la yang arjun na shi je to la do di tene yang jar genetic te se le la bo je yang jar genetic ku dang ko ya je to la do tene Ngawang ko ya ma der.
So this is when we talk about meditation in the path of a bodhisattva, the path that meditation that leads to realizing and seeing directly the ultimate nature. This is what we're doing here, as we rest without fabrication. So we have gradually dissolved every visualization, every conceptualization, and at the end, everything has dissolved. There's nothing to identify and conceptualize anymore. And this is the actual resting in meditation, the actual meditation. And everything else that we have done before is a part of practice, which is not the actual resting meditation, because we do visualize and we have some activities that we deliberately create. And so these are called post-meditation. It's not the main meditation, the equanimity, it's post-equanimity. And now we rest in equanimity without fabrication, but we are not able to rest for a long time in that state because the energy of fabrication is so much ingrained that it comes back. But then we bring that energy into what, again, the post-meditation. So we we harness that energy into a spiritual practice. And now the practice is the dedication. So we're not trying to stay long in a sort of fake equanimity because we cannot sustain it. We rather shift to another practice, which is called post-meditation, and which is just our ordinary practice with concept. And here the concept is dedicating virtue for the enlightenment of all beings. We call it dedication. So let's read this dedication together in English. 3. The accumulated roots of virtue in the 3 times, the 2 profound and progressive yogas, all the roots of virtue, whatever they may be, I dedicate to the infinitude of beings so that they obtain Buddhahood.
Tene trashi melam di yongu yorba, di korang lukso daburba. Tene melam jab korba, kewangu melam jab trashi chitere. Tanda shi kamsum riktus. Tene de anchik injikela dena.
So we always conclude when after resting in equanimity, which is the actual main meditation, we always conclude with dedication. When we come back to our ordinary state where the concepts are there, we always direct this concept into first dedication, which we have just done. And then you can see next it's written wishing prayer. And is there something next? No. So this is a tradition because it makes sense that our concepts are sort of oriented and sort of formed or harnessed in a certain way, so that the imprint of functioning of fabrication goes in a way. So the way is dedicating to all beings and doing wishes. So again, we always do that. There are the general wishes, and then there are what we call the tashi, which are not just an aspiration, but it's sort of invoking auspiciousness. So these 3 usually come at the end of a ritual. After the resting in equanimity, we dedicate, we express aspirations, and we invoke auspiciousness, or evoke rather, we evoke auspiciousness before we can end the formal practice. So we'll read that in English.
Yes.
While we still have a few minutes, page 14, second line. The 6 classes of beings in the 3 spheres arising from the 4 types of birth, their emotional veils and dualistic concepts having been purified and eliminated, may they see their own face as primordial wisdom and obtain the happiness of the state of Amitabha. May the majestic and changing body bring auspiciousness. May the 60 qualities of speech bring auspiciousness. May the infallible and unlimited mind bring auspiciousness. May the body, speech, and mind of the conqueror bring auspiciousness. May we live 100 years and see 100 autumns. May our life be long, free of illness and happy. May all be fulfilled. May we definitely move towards the great vehicle. May the protectors of virtue bestow auspiciousness. May happiness reign during the day and during the night. May all be auspicious all day long. May a happiness always reign every day and night. May the 3 jewels bestow auspiciousness. We hold the bell and the vajra, we at this time we hold it very upright, holding it from the base, from the bottom.
Shikam sumarido chene jedeme Rawalanji Nishendrebenzo Jangshedane Nisherajado Nande Minjurolembo Koyetrajejo Elai Dojo Songetrajejo Tadrai Deme Tojetrajejo Jeve Loja doje tenja dovada Sere aine me deje abozomozo Te guai chola nge parai jojurbe Traji aine Yemoindele tendele Nyeme goya deleje Nyenze dado delema Konjo donji traji Da dene dila damaru mindu dene samachardo
So at each time we say Tashisho, we play the bell and the damaru, and then we can put the bell and the doji down.
Dene da dene nganzo diwa dilen disi mindu chizi takta do sarsang yang chizi dhubwa la dene tsangma chizi dhubwa la ambiti chegi dhus di nyamlen je la.
So with this, we completed the ritual and we have put the bell and the vajra down. And we are just reaching the end of our session. So we don't really have time for a question and answer session. I'm sorry for that. But we can perform all together the ritual in 1 hour. So it will be 5 o'clock UK time, London time. And you are all invited to join. So with this text and performing all together with all the instruments, and that will be streamed live on Facebook in 1 hour.
Dene tama anzu dring nimani la zum gitari chingen dene Drubpon UK dene Drubpon UK gitari che dila dene group shen mangbo dene support jenen zomne dene anzu nimani la pe yakbuchum maram pe kabuchum somos dene dring pengendang dene ke jurngendang gitari chingen dene anzu dila plurela pe madang le tishadi song tsangmala tuji che shuwe ning tawane che sui rang yu pe yakbuchung kabuchung tuji che.
So just as a conclusion, I would like to say that it was great to have you joining for these 2 days of teachings, and it was very good. It all went very well. It was really great that you joined, and I want to express my deep gratitude for the organizers. I know that setting up, even if it's on Zoom, is still a lot of work and technicalities and complexities. So big thank you to the organizers for such a spiritual time we have spent together. And also, of course, thank you all. Thank the organizer, thank the translator, and also thank the people on my side who assist me with computers and Zoom. And yeah, thank everyone. That was a great moment together. Very meaningful, very precious. Thank you.
Dene dalo maranzo dene tsangma yakbuchung ne nyungne gi program gi den suyen rabuchi res den nyungne dene dalo jawon ruba pepto gumi to den dene lojima ngonzo rawa jab res ba the labdeda dalo zerim chimbuchi kaya midos. Tene October ni nyungne di tsutuna tene zerim pulori zerim di so the checking is.
So, as for the next program, normally we are meant to resume the insight in our Dharma Center programs where everybody can join physically in person. And that is meant to happen this autumn with the Nyungne practices, which are great collective practices of great compassion and purification. So we hope to be able to do that if everything, if nothing bad happens. This is the plan, this is the program. And otherwise, His Holiness will not be able to come this year. So no big event with His Holiness the Ngawang Drubpon for now. But next year, definitely we'll invite His Holiness and have him with us. So that's the news. So no big event soon, too soon, but perhaps, hopefully, this new retreat in Puri, in French Brittany.
Tene nga London pe tengi do ta wating do London la tene changma yabu jana yongi so charang London pe tengi do tene Eurostar de TGP na peki.
I want to say also something special for you, the British and UK Sangha, and especially the London Sangha, that I miss you. I really think of you regularly and I miss you, and I hope to be able to come soon. And I already see myself in the Eurostar and crossing the channel on the ground and coming to London, and really I have this in my mind. So I miss you, I miss London, and I hope to see you very soon. And this is also the plan, but you know, these days the situation is a little bit not so clear, so I cannot promise 100% that next time I'll be there, but this is my view, this is my wish. So, okay, it's time to conclude because we have to go. Thank you very much and see you, and thank you, bye-bye.
Thank you.
And I recognize you, I see you. I saw he's doing, you know, like that. Yeah. I see you, I'm very happy to see you. And bye for now. And join us at 5 UK time or next time. And yeah, see you next time. Yeah, you can turn on your camera for the last seconds and say, wave bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, you can.